It's Friday. Welcome to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaiji. Now we'll start in the Upper West region because the youth and market women in the Jirapa municipality have voiced their anger and frustration on the purported decision by the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu to transfer the case involving the gruesome murder of the owner of Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, Eric Johnson, at Jirapa. In a petition to the Chief Justice ahead of his burial on Saturday, a group calling itself Concerned Youth of Jirapa stated that the transfer of the case will not only impede justice that they are seeking, but will also come at great cost because they have to travel to Kumasi for each court session. They have therefore called on her to rescind the decision or they will advise themselves. 3 persons, including the prime suspect, Eliza Mahama, are in the grips of the police and waiting to stand trial. Joy News' Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Jirapa.
For close to 4 months, they have been grieving.
I can't talk. I'm not of West. But the Almighty God and the people of Jirapa, that's in Denmark, all the elders of Jirapa, should get up. Whatever they can do to bring justice, we are behind them.
They are grieving over the loss of a man they considered an oak tree whose importance and philanthropy has gone beyond the boundaries of its over 3 kilometers square Royal Cozy Hills Hotel and Safari Resort, and by extension the Jirapa municipality. Eric Johnson was gruesomely murdered in cold blood on February 10 this year at his private residence. 3 persons, including former human resource manager of his hotel, Eliza Mahama, and Belinda Miller, have been arrested in connection with his murder and were billed to appear at the High Court last week for the commencement of the trial. The presiding judge, Justice Yusuf Asibi, however, adjourned the case to June 12 following a letter purported to have been written by the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, transferring the case out of the High Court to another High Court in Kumasi for the trial. Ahead of his burial slated for this weekend, close family members, landlords, market women, persons with disabilities, and tricycle operators under the banner of Concerned Youth of Jirapa municipality are incensed about the decision of the Chief Justice. They have therefore petitioned the Chief Justice to rescind her decision, urging her not to look only at the interests of the first accused murder, but the interests of the sea of people whose interest is hinged on the case, and allow the status quo to remain. John Apolong is the public relations officer of the Jirapa Municipal Youth Association, and he read a petition on their behalf.
The petition by his mother, which is under consideration to relocate the proceedings, has been received with grave concern, caused great distress and suspicion of the possible miscarriage of justice within the Jirapa municipality, the Upper West region, and at large, Ghana. As aggrieved citizens seeking justice and fairness, we believe that justice must be done in this case. As you reckoned, the jury has already been impaneled, and the High Court is ready to hear the case. The transfer could further delay and undermine the integrity of the judicial process. This is unjust and prejudicial, and we register our resentment via this petition as members of the deceased family.
Chairman of the Jirapa Municipal Youth Association, Jude Kobe, stated that due to their vested interest in the case, they will have to follow it keenly by appearing at each court session, but with a purported transfer, they will not be able to because of the huge costs involved.
And we are appealing to the Lordship, the government, and I trust President Akufo-Addo that they should try their best to reverse this decision of sending this matter to Kumasi. For me, as a youth chairman, I'm always very frank. If this matter is not referred to WA and it's still going to Kumasi, with my colleagues and the whole youth and the Jirapa municipality, the attendants and everybody will take a different step. And that different step that we will take, it will not spare. It will not help the government and whoever in Ghana. That's our decision. Honestly, we are not happy about what is going on. Why will one person, somebody is suspected to kill somebody, that is, feeding a whole lot of people. The mother is at court and they said that person's mother have appealed to the lordship that the matter should be sent to Kumasi High Court. Is that we don't have a high court in what? Or are they telling us the high court in what the judges are no good?
It is not only the youth who were here. We saw market women and the tendames who also poured their effusions about the situation.
We still plead that it should be done and be done right. And the right thing to be done is not to transfer to anywhere, not even Buale, because our regional capital is Wa, and so shall it be.
You want to take the case away from us to Kumasi. What are you thinking of us? Is Jirapa not in Ghana? Or we are strangers and not Ghanaians. Our regional capital is Wa and not Kumasi. We won't accept it. Listening to the conversations around, you know that Eric Johnson is being described as one man who is a generator that lives several thousands of bulbs in the Jirapa community and beyond. What the people are calling for is nothing but justice. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Jirapa.
Is this the editor script? Now, a dilapidated toilet facility is taking a toll on girls in the OT region, and they are asking that, and they are saying that it's having some adverse impact on their menstrual health and hygiene. They say the state of the toilet facility is responsible for the frequent candidiasis infection among the girls. There's more in this report.
Many of our girls lack access to menstrual products and adequate facilities to manage their periods. In order to overcome the challenge of inadequate menstrual facilities in the school, management wishes to use this medium to humbly appeal to your esteemed organization, Plan International Ghana, to construct a 10-seater gender-friendly KVIP toilet facility for the school. Currently, the girls' toilet in use is in a very dilapidated state. The structure has become very weak and is posing threats to human lives.
That was Frank Buama, the headmaster for Buaman Senior High School in the Jasikan municipality of the T region, lamenting the bad sanitary condition in which his schoolgirls live on the occasion of this year's Menstrual Health and Hygiene Day celebration on Tuesday. The lamentations got me curious, so I decided to visit the facility to see for myself. Broken slabs, dislodged polythene, rusted roofing are the initial physical evidence of what has been described by the headmaster. There is more, but cannot be described and put on national television. Sandra Akomenyi is the girls' prefect for the school. She tells us the situation on the grounds.
We are over 2,000 plus, and then we are having only 5 spaces in there. Actually, it's broken. So whenever our ladies come to visit here, they queue. Because of that, some of them are attempted to ease themselves in black rubbers, and then they dispose them around, making the environment dirty. And also during afternoon times when you come here, because of the heat, we actually get candidiasis out of that. And then it's affecting our menstrual cycles, because sometimes when it happens like that and then you are affected, during your menstrual cycles, it can skip. It can skip. You can start today and then the next day it won't come like that. It's having a whole lot of problems on us.
The leaking roof, she says, makes their plight worse whenever it rains, coupled with maggot invasion of the facility.
And when it rains to this place, because of the way it's broken, it gets a little bit flooded. Maggots normally comes out of them, making the whole place nasty, and we feel uncomfortable to go there. Yes, because of that, people are not comfortable coming here. They are used to easing themselves in black rubbers, disposing them around, giving us air pollution.
The concrete floor of the bathing space has also given up, making scrubbing of the place almost impossible. Most of the water closets that would relieve them in this building, completed in very recent years, have also broken down. With water not flowing in the facility, some of the students also mess up the place. The girls' prefect is appealing for urgent intervention to get the situation under control. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
Now, the Forestry Commission is urging all those who took part in the previous Green Ghana Day event to take stock of the trees they planted in the 3 previous events as the country prepares to plant 10 million trees this year. According to the Forestry Commission, reflecting on the successes of the past exercises before the rollout of the new tree planting exercise is the surest way to go. Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, John Alute, has been touring the Central Region to get first-hand how the trees that were planted in previous editions are doing. There's more in this report.
The Green Ghana Day was instituted about 3 years ago, where millions of trees were planted across the country. As the country prepares to mark another Green Ghana Day event, the Forestry Commission says it has procured many seedlings that would be planted that day, and many more of such seedlings could be secured from the Commission to be planted by the public after the exercise. Speaking after a courtesy call on the Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan before inspecting some of the trees that were planted in previous editions of the Green Ghana Day, Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, John Alute, says the Commission is ready to plant millions of trees that day.
As you are aware, this year, the planting is going to happen on the 7th of June, Friday, the 7th of June, across the country. And everybody will be expected to come out and plant trees on that day. The president himself will be planting in Accra at the Burma camp in Accra. The Chief Justice, Speaker of Parliament, everybody will be going out to plant. And we are expecting all Ghanaians to come out and plant on that day. On that, a week before, we'll be distributing seedlings across the country. We'll be distributing seedlings that would grow into trees like timber trees like Wawa, Odum, Mahogany, or Fram. We'll also be distributing ornamental trees like the flamboyant and others. Fruit trees too will be available. The coconut and other species that will grow into fruit will also be available. Beyond that, we are also expecting that Ghanaians will also go to where they planted in the 3 previous events and look at how the seedlings are doing. As the Honorable Minister said, the ones she planted are doing very well. So we are expecting planting and then inspection of the planting that we did the previous 3 events. Our target for this year is 10 million, and we've done 20 million before. So I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to, Ghanaians will come out and plant this year, 2024. We have facilities to distribute all these seedlings across the country. We have enough seedlings to achieve the target.
Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan assured the Commission that the region will once again exceed its targets.
I see forestry people and I feel happy because anything green is beautiful and it is young. Yeah, so I associate myself with what they do. As I'm welcoming them warmly to the region, I want to put on record that tree planting exercise, Green Ghana, has been with us. It has come to stay. So after everything, I would want us to go and see the first tree I planted, nurtured, and it is growing beautifully. I pray that everybody will take a cue from that. I think the second year plant I did was in the UCC day, and then one at Agri Memorial School. It's growing beautifully. So this year's tree planting or Green Ghana Day is going to be wonderful in the Central Region. We've always been going above our targets.
The commission visited the University of Cape Coast and other institutions where the trees were planted in previous editions of the Green Ghana Day. Abdallah Osman's reports read to you.
The Consumer Protection Agency takes on the Ghana Revenue Authority and port authorities for allowing the entry of substandard baby diapers into the country, linking it to some skin infections. There's more in this report.
The Consumer Protection Agency has criticized the Ghana Revenue Authority as well as port authorities for allowing substandard baby diapers into the country. These products have been linked to some skin diseases being experienced by babies who use them.
Some scrupulous Ghanaian businesses are on the market to deceive first the mothers in the name of being cheap. The fact that the diaper is cheap does not mean it has to be bad. That can cause rashes and other skin diseases to our children. We cannot allow a company or companies who intentionally bring these fake or cheap diapers, which doesn't meet the standard that you can bring to Ghana. So we are creating this awareness to let mothers and parents know that the fact that the diaper is cheap, it doesn't mean it's a good quality. If you bring these things on the market, as you see some of them in front of us, and it's not registered, that means the FDA hasn't allowed you to bring them into the port. And where the problem is, like I said, the port is the port. If we were to do due diligence at the port, and government or GRE should not only look at the revenue that is going to come into the country and go the extra mile and make sure that agencies that are mandated at the port, there's about 12 agencies at the port, it may be even more, that should make sure that anything that leaves the port is, first of all, wholesome and has the approval to come on the market. Unfortunately, that's why some of these can come, because these are not things that is brought through Togo or through the borders. These are imported, and most of them are coming from offshore.
In view of this, the CEO of CPA, Kofi Kapito, is urging Ghanaian mothers to be vigilant when purchasing baby diapers. According to him, it's fundamental for them to be on the lookout for unregistered products and stay away from patronizing cheap baby products.
So I'm pleading with the general public, especially the mothers, that be careful. If you don't know, ask. You are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to fill them. You see, every diaper is supposed to keep your baby dry and protect them when they soil themselves, not something that will cause more damage to you. The Standard Authority should also tell Ghanaians that what is the standard of diapers, because they are the people in charge of standards.
Meanwhile, the FDA has been giving updates on its monitoring of the proliferation of substandard diapers on the market.
We're still monitoring the situation, and we're still using a safely disposing of the substandard ones. We even dispose of some this.
Co-chair of Ghana Extractives Industry Transparency Initiative and technical advisor of the UK Ghana Gold Programme, Dr. Steve Mantiao, has urged governments to fast-track the establishment of Ghana's first nuclear power plant as a feasible solution for the country's energy needs. According to him, the benefits of transitioning to renewable energy sources like nuclear, wind and solar power will help the country achieve energy sufficiency and reduce costs. There's more in this report.
Since 2011, Ghana has been working to increase uptake of renewable energy into the national electricity generation mix by 10% on or before 2030. With the country battling erratic power supply, The need for the country to intensify efforts at achieving this objective has become increasingly urgent. Speaking at the Climate Strategy South to South Just Transitions National Stakeholder Engagement Workshop in Accra, co-chair of Ghana Extractives Industry Transparency Initiative and technical advisor of UK Ghana Gold Programme, Dr. Steve Mantil, called on government to consider the establishment of nuclear power plants to produce affordable electricity in safe and environmentally friendly manner for socio-economic development.
Nuclear, for me, is an option, and it has been an option since the 1960s, when the late Kwame Nkrumah established the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. I take the view that solar, wind, and other very widely used forms of renewable energy cannot generate the required power we need to drive our economy. We cannot power our economy with solar and to be able to convert our base metals into what you call it, value-added manufacturing concerns or products. To the extent that we are reducing our fossil fuel dependence, the only viable option then becomes nuclear in terms of quantum of power generated to power industry.
He also emphasized the invaluable impact nuclear energy will have in protecting the environment and mitigating the effect of climate change in the country.
It is not lost on all of us as Ghanaians that this country is suffering the brunt of climate change. We saw just last year what happened to the Akosombo Dam and its environs and the communities that were flooded as a result of unprecedented rainfall pattern. Of course, it becomes imperative that we contribute our quota to reducing the causes of climate change and its effects, one of which is to reduce our use of fossil fuel, and that is what is occasioning the need for energy transition.
The engagement, which was organized by Climate Strategies and STEMINITS Foundation, is a part of a new work program announced by the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change at COP27 to foster discussion and action to accelerate work on key issues. Coordinator of Just Energy Transitions, Nerissa Anku, explained how significant the outcome of the engagement will be on climate policies.
The inputs of the stakeholders would be sent to climate strategies, and climate strategies would now add it up to its work program that would be reviewed at COP29.
Other participants of the meeting also shared their assessment.
Sitting back and not doing anything is not an option for us as well. So I'm glad that these discussions are coming up and that people are able to identify what roles they can play, the gaps they can fill, and the opportunities that are available. And this discussion has honestly been enlightening for me. So thank you very much.
The traditional leaders and residents of Senya Breku in the Central Region are calling on the President and the Interior Ministry to act timeously by cautioning the Ghana Armed Forces to stay off their land. Early this year, the residents of Senya Breku clashed with some military officers on the land under dispute during an official ceremony to hand the land over to the military. At a news conference at Senya, the traditional leaders and residents warned that such acts of giving their lands out will not be tolerated and wants the President and the Interior Minister to act before anything untoward happens.
Our lands, the very foundation of our heritage and livelihood, have been unlawfully encroached upon, and this unjust action cannot be tolerated. We strongly denounce the use of land guards by Goma Fete, which has resulted in violence and tragically claimed the life of a soldier. We wish to take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family of the late Lance Corporal Michael Dansu and the Ghana Armed Forces. However, we demand that the Ghana Armed Forces respect the ongoing stool land boundary dispute between Seyan Breku and Gomoafete, which is currently under review by the Supreme Court and the Ofanko High Court. The disregard for court orders by Gomoafete and the Ghana Armed Forces sends a dangerous message that may force us, the Seyans, to arm ourselves and protect our land. We are resilient and will not be intimidated by military presence or actions on our territory. We are profoundly disappointed by the apparent endorsement of these illicit activities by the IGP, Dr. George Akufu Dampari. The continued support of the Kaswa Seyan Breku Enclaves Police towards the land guards from Gomoafete is unwarranted and unaccepted. Such bias only goes to worsen the already tense situation and undermines the rule of law. We caution that if this unjust behavior persists, and if the support from the police towards Gomoafete land guard continues, the people of Seyan Breku will be left with no choice but to defend our land through any means necessary. We remind those land guards from Gomoafete that their possession of weapons does not grant them the liberty to trample on our rights and laws. We are a peaceful, loving people. Gomoafete and the soldiers will continue to develop our lands, to which we have cautioned them. If they continue as such, we can tell you on authority, like my chief and elders have said, we are going to also equally take the laws into our hands. And we want to send this caution to all the general public, especially people developing Millennium City and Anapinsu, that they should desist from that. In light of this alarming development, we urgently call upon the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces to withdraw their soldiers from Seyan lands. Additionally, we appeal to His Excellency Nanadu, the President of Ghana, and Honorable Henry Korte, Minister for Interior, to swiftly and decisively intervene in the land dispute of Seyan Breku and Gomoafete before tensions escalate further.
Up next is Business Updates with Sweetie Abochi.
Now let's do some business updates, starting with inflation for May 2024 is expected to fall to 21% and end the year around 17%. That's according to GCB Capital. Now it's pointed out that its decision is due to base effect. Here's a report with more.
Inflation has been nosediving since the beginning of the year. GCB Capital expressed concern about the anticipated pass-through of the current spate of cedi depreciation and its lagged impact. It added that the second-round effect remained an upside risk to the near-term outlook. Again, the multiple upward adjustments in ex-pump petroleum prices, which results in transport fare hikes and its full pass-through to the general prices, are yet to come. With the quarterly utility tariff adjustments still to come amidst the general macroeconomic uncertainties, GCB Capital said the risk of near-term inflation is quite pronounced. Inflation tumbled in April 2024 to 25.0% from 25.8% in March 2024. In response, the Monetary Policy Committee maintained an appropriately tight monetary policy stance amidst the emerging upside risks.
That'll be all for business. Handing back over to Denicia Poma-Eje.
And that's it for AM News. Don't forget, News Review is right after the news. My name is Denicia Poma-Eje. Have a wonderful Friday.